All right, She Speaks family. Welcome to the She Speaks podcast, our special episode. Today, we have the honor of bringing in our baby girls for our special edition specific to Mother's Day. We are celebrating mamas this month. Happy Mother's Day, Angela. Mother's Day, Ravella. Yes. So we are really excited. We are not going to take up too much time. We're going to dive right in with introductions. I already introduced my co-hosts, but I'm going to do it again because they are lovely. What's up, Angela?
How you doing?
Good, good, good. Ravella.
Hey, 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 I'm here.
That's right. That's right. And I'm Shantae. So I'm going to go ahead and just pass it to all of our beautiful daughters. Introduce yourselves to the She Speaks audience. I'm going to go ahead and start with Becca. Then I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Anaya. And then I'm going to have Tandy close us out with just the introductions. And then we're going to dive into the questions.
Yeah. Well, hello everybody. My name is Becca Woods. I am Angela's stepdaughter. Me and Angela became what we are. What year is this? 20. What year did you get married?
2008.
18 years. So yes. Love her for life. Very proud of her and the big things she's doing with this podcast.
Yeah.
Vines. I am the daughter of Shantae Vines. I am
Yes.
26.
Mhm.
She's my mama. So been in her life all of my life. Love you down. And yeah, that's my dog. That's my road dog. So, very much, if you want to see her, you kind of got to get through me type of thing. Very protective of her and just really proud of her for what she's doing in the world and just the woman that she's becoming and the power she's reclaiming in her life is just really beautiful to see from a daughter's perspective. So super happy to join and to have conversation with y'all.
Thank you, Anaya and
All
Tandy.
right. Hi, everybody. My name is Tondi. I'm 23. I am the daughter of Miss Orvella Nesbitt. Super proud of my mom. I was literally telling everybody, I'm going to be on my mom's podcast today. Like, I'm so excited. So, super proud of her and super excited to see everything that she's been doing this year and the past year. She's such an inspiration to me. So, yeah, I'm excited to get started.
Mhm.
Yes, yes, yes. All right, y'all. The topic for today, becoming oneself together, becoming ourselves together. Did that make sense? Becoming
Mhm.
ourselves together, becoming oneself together. Yeah, becoming ourselves together. Again, this is our mother daughters episode, and we are, again, extremely honored. So, we're going to dive into the first question. All right. Um, I actually don't want to dive into the first question. I want to kind of just go into what does it feel, or what has this journey of motherhood, what has this journey of motherhood been like for you, um, and the journey of daughterhood, right? So let's kind of go there. What has this journey been like in general? Anybody want to get? Angela, you need to get
Angela
started because you
always
don't
gets
even have,
started.
and you don't have our quote. I
Yeah.
forgot the quote, honey. I forgot the quote. But what has it been like? Just the journey.
I would say Rebecca grew me up. I don't have biological children of my own, and we grew together. And so when she came into my life, I this was my first time being responsible for a whole human, right? And much less a 9 year old with a lot of hair. That's all that was a whole process. We could do a whole podcast on how, ooh, that'd be funny. And I would say that it has stretched me in ways that I'd never anticipated. I've learned so much from her all the time. She is exceptionally bossy. And what I've learned is sometimes I just say, okay, whatever you say. And so, yeah. But I think we have, um, what I've learned how to do is let her be herself. I started off as a kind of, because I didn't have the experience. Here's a list of things that a whole bunch of people told me I was supposed to do. And so I kind of tried to check that off. And she was like, no, that's not, no, I don't
Mm,
need you for that, or I don't need you for that. So it's been a growth experience. And like Anaya said, she knows that if something's getting ready to happen, then I'm gonna be there, and we gonna be side by side.
yes, yes, I know that's right.
Period, as she says. Period.
Period.
Period. Yes, yes.
Period.
No, really. Um, Angela came into my life like very suddenly. And growing up, I was very reluctant to change. It wasn't a concept that I was used to. And so for that, having everything change, it was just like, okay, for that, like, I want to stick to what I know. Like, I have my routine, how I do things, how I know things. And I was very stubborn to the growth she was trying to instill in me very early on. And so for that, coming up, like she said, we grew together. But, you know, to me, once it was a matter of like, I'm 18, it's like, okay, now I'm really like doing my own things. And so for that, I feel like once I got to that age, that's when our relationship shifted for the better, because I felt like that's when we could both like exhale. Like, we got you to 18. Like, now it's really up to you what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, and all of the things in between. And definitely throughout the years, even though I wasn't as open to it, it was still something that I had no choice but to absorb, being that, we're living together now. I took all the things that she taught me, all the things that I was, so hesitant to open up to. And, once I turned 18, I could make those decisions. And for that, I'm thankful that she has given me all of the knowledge and the confidence and the support to not only pursue my dreams, but pursue them in a way that's authentic to me, and knowing that I have her in my corner when I do so.
I love that. I love
Mm,
that
thanks,
confidence and
girl.
authenticity. I know that's right. Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Motherhood, the
Yeah,
journey,
The
daughterhood.
journey,
Anyone?
it is the journey.
yeah. It's beautiful.
Ravella, what
That's
you
beautiful.
thinking? Anything about this
So,
journey?
yeah, so I was I was married about 7 years before Tandy came along. And so husband and her dad and I had a lot of, time to grow and develop. And she has been a blessing, because she is a child in which I prayed for. There was some periods of time that it was very difficult to be able to conceive and bring her into this world. And so when she came in, it's been joyful. It's been all of that. And then she got about 2 or 3, and she was just really spirited, and that's the language we used back then. Really spirited, very much like this is what I want, and why was a common word in her vocabulary. Always, it was a bit of a challenge, and I would say it grew me up in a way that she began to reflect parts of me, and some of those parts of me, I was like, that's not me. And she's been quick over the years to say, Mama, you always do that. You do da 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 da, good, bad, and indifferent. So for me, it's been
Hmm.
a maturing in a way that has grown me, has developed me, has allowed me to take a step back and appreciate the growth cycle of who she is. And it's allowed me to step back and appreciate her identity. Um, you know, I think that oftentimes, there are parts of mothers that daughters reflect, but in that, there's also this period of time where they are bursting to become their own individual persons. And so I definitely have seen that in Tandy. And as she's grown and developed, I've seen how she's taken on, different, very positive characteristics that I've hoped and prayed that she would be able to take on. But definitely it's been a growing and maturing process for me. I'm grateful for every step of it. All the way back to the Curious George moments of like, that's all she wanted to watch was Curious George, and appreciating those moments all the way up until this very moment and seeing how she's developed and being able to have a, plethora of different friends in which she welcomes into her life. So that's what it's been for me.
Yes, Ravella. So, Tan, do you want to go ahead and talk about your journey, daughterhood?
Yeah, so it's so funny that my mom said she used the word reflection because I feel like now, as I've grown into the woman that I'm becoming. A lot of people say that, you're very like put together, like you're very poised, you're very classy. And then when they meet my mom, they're like, oh, I see where you get it from. Like that makes a lot of sense. I see the connection. So
Hmm.
being able to kind of see my mom play in so many different roles, especially after my dad passed, and kind of reflecting was such a good word, reflecting off of her, and um just really being able to see her as an inspiration, but even my friends being able to see her as an inspiration in their life. And it's just been an amazing journey, and she's my rock. I'm still learning. It was
Oh,
a point where we used to butt heads a lot. Like, we used to butt heads a lot.
a
I'm not
lot,
gonna lie. I'm not
a
gonna
lot.
lie. We used to,
We
yeah.
no, I ain't gonna lie either. That was that's facts.
Yeah, it was a little time span where we did not get along at all. But I think the older I got, the more I began to understand my mom, and the more she began to understand me, and we understood that we need each other. And I think that's like a super, super important thing, especially when you're an only child and then having my dad pass. So, yeah, I'm just excited to continue life with my mom, and like I wouldn't be the woman that I am today without my mom. So.
I love
Oh,
it. Look at
woo
that.
woo woo.
Yes, man. And that button heads, I think everybody has had those moments in that
Yes.
parent-child relationship where that happens. That's for
Mm-hmm.
sure. Um,
Yes.
yeah, so
I,
man,
I
this
I feel the energy around the virtual room. It's like, oh
you're like,
yeah, oh yeah.
yes. Oh my goodness. So this journey of motherhood for me, I feel like, you know, when I see Anaya, I literally see me. And the journey has been one where while raising her, I was learning how to become a stronger woman. Um, she, I think her strength throughout our lives has also assisted me in becoming stronger. She's been able to see so many, the ups, the downs, and when I say ride or die, it's ride or die. Um, I would not. I can honestly say I could not and would not be where I am if it wasn't for her, the help that she's given me. Um, and it's amazing when I think about it, the help that she's given me in every aspect of my life, spiritually, emotionally. That's my girl. Um, her and my son, they're 5 years apart, and I tell you, she probably, I would say, is his second mama, and that's for sure. Um, and the things that I've had to do to get to where I am, I needed someone to assist me with it. And now that I'm thinking back at it, she's been she's been so she's been so instrumental in that for me. This journey has been a wonderful journey. That's what I would say. And I'm like, I I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't trade this journey for no one. So yeah, that's what this motherhood for me looked like, what it
Mm-hmm.
feels
I
like.
could jump in here. Yeah, so it's like, you know, the saying where parents like tell their child, like, yeah, I'm not one of your little friends. It's like I was one of her little friends. I was one of her little friends for real. Like that was the thing. And but of course, like I had that respect for her and you know, just a certain type of reverence for her because I saw all that she did for my brother and I. And so I think that subconsciously it was like you just have to make sure you don't add to that load. You know, that was always a thing. So it's like, how can I lighten that load? Because it seems like it's already so heavy for her. So, you know, it's like if I had to bear anything to help out, like I was willing to do that. I mean, at the end of the day, like she made me a daughter and I made her a mom. So it's like, how do we fit into each other's lives? We kind of learn that together. And it's like, you know, like I'm your partner in crime, basically, is what I picked up as being a daughter for her. Like being a daughter, I feel like in everybody's life is different. And I think that depends on where your mom is in their life and how you kind of fit into that. And so I think for that, you know, she was, I think when like in her early 20s. And so this is like her first daughter.
Hmm.
And you know, we started off in New York and then we came to like Charlotte and didn't have much family there. And so I could just tell that, you know, okay, my mom in my life right now needs a mini her. So I'll just do that. She just needs a Shantae 2.0, and I can be that for sure. So I basically did. And so we've been rocking ever since. And I mean, it doesn't stop just like it didn't stop just because I turned 18. And she knows that, I know that, I know that like as long as I live, I'll always need my mom. I think even more now when I as I'm growing up, just in different ways, right? I don't need her to like feed me and clothe me. But it's like, girl, I'm an adult now. Like I don't even know how I got here for real. I feel like I'm 16, but just like in a 26-year-old body. It's like this is insane. Um really crazy. I just need, you know, guidance. You know, it's like you've been here before. How would you handle this? You know, girl, let me tell you about work. Let me tell you about school. Like I'm overwhelmed. And it helps that she, you know, is a therapist. Now when I was younger, it was kind of annoying because it was like, how do you feel like all the time? But it's like now it's like, girl, I'm gonna tell you how I feel. You don't gotta ask. Like life is stressful. But but yeah, so I need her in different ways, but our motherhood, daughterhood relationship is still growing to this day. So
Yeah, yeah. This is pretty dope. This is pretty dope. I hope I don't cry by the time this is over. Ooh. All right. Question one. What is something that you admire about the woman your daughter slash mother has become? So what is something that you admire about your mom? What is something what we ladies admire about our daughters? Um, who wants to pick that one up? See, I can't look to my right or my left like I'm in studio. I'm,
I can start that. I can start
yes.
from that point. One thing I love as far as like the woman Angela is becoming like more unapologetic by the hour. And for that, she is diminishing the structure and the all the constructs she's been, used to adhering to. And for that, she's moving at her own pace, doing her own things. And for that, I'm very proud of her for it, very inspired by her for it, because I know she always like refers back to her generation, but literally like the way she came up, she was, the oldest girl. And so a lot of us can relate in a sense of like, you have to be second mom, not the privilege of, wanting to do that for your mother, but like this is something you have to do. like this is your child. And like Angela said, she has no biological children. So for her to take on those responsibilities, it definitely, integrated in her adult life. And I just know when me and Angela came about, she was very strict, very stern, like very scheduled, like this is by the book, you're gonna do it by the book, you're gonna do it by all the books actually. And for that, I know in a sense, I can be very free spirited. I like to move at my own pace. And Angela is someone like, I need it done when I need it done. And so for that, that's where the tension did come in. But again, once it was a matter of like, you turn 18, you get ready to go to college, that's when we both were kind of like, wait, like, are we going to miss each other? And so for that, now that we have experienced not living in the same household and being intentional about still remaining close, even though we aren't in the same vicinity, I appreciate the fact that, like she said, she allows me to be myself. And we're now learning more about each other, being that this is, versions of ourselves that we've never been before. But as we said before, we're growing together. And I feel like as time prolongs, she just becomes more and more herself in a way that I feel like she wasn't able to express at my age or younger. So I'm proud of her for that.
I love it. Admiration. Look at that. Yes.
Queen,
Yes.
Khaleesi, all the things, yes.
All the things. What are we
Girl, I
admiring,
don't know if I'm gonna
ladies?
be able to do all this. Ooh,
Please, please, will you tell me to come on? Yeah.
Lord have mercy. Ooh, I had to think. I think with Beck, what I admire most about her is her unwavering bravery. She
Mm.
just, she has been through so much, in her young life, and she's had to stand, and she's had to stand, and she's had to be the adult sometimes. She's had to be the mediator sometimes. And she is forging her own path. It's not my path because we figured that out. Like, look, you got to do your own thing. Look, she nodded. Okay. Um, and but what I admire the most about her is how she knows herself so well. When I was her age, I was still trying to figure it out. I was kind of going with the flow, and she said it best. I was the eldest daughter. I had a whole list of things that people wanted me to do. She's like, "This is what I'm doing, and if it doesn't work out, I'm gonna do something else. And if that doesn't work out, I'm gonna do something else." And she stands in it, and she is illuminated by it, and I just admire that. I admire and respect it, because she is doing so much more than I ever thought I would do at that age. And I
Mm.
just that's why I know that no matter what, if it doesn't look familiar to me, I know she's going to be successful, no matter what, on her terms.
On her terms.
On her.
Yes. Yes. It got to be. I think that's a beautiful way to kind of look at who all of us are right now as women is on our own terms. I think we're all figuring out what that looks like for us, you know? So, admiring. What are we admiring? Anybody want to pick it up?
Yeah. One of the things that I definitely admire about Tandi is her determination. She is a very determined young lady. When she left for college, it was the pandemic, so it was September. Everything just went haywire. March, April, May, June. We kind of came outside a little bit in June, July. A lot of unpredictability, uncertainty going into the fall. A lot of colleges and universities sent their students home during that time. And instead of coming home, she stayed and she weathered that time being there. And I know that it was difficult because folks were fairly isolated during that time. But I've watched how she's gone from, being away, being in an isolated kind of scenario in during that period of time to now being the young lady on campus that everybody wants to know. Like she has friends on multiple college campuses. She goes to North Carolina Central, but she got friends everywhere, all around Raleigh, Durham. Like, oh, where's this from? Oh, they go to state. Oh, where they go? Oh, good. They go to A&T. It's just it is I admire her determination to be able to make this path for herself, despite what I may think or what others may think or feel. She has been very determined that she wants to make her own path, and it's an act of fearlessness um, that is like it's so great to be able to have and be able to walk into. So I really admire and appreciate that about her.
Love that. I
Thank you
know
for
that's right. She was like the girl everybody want to know. You better say it, fella.
that. And again, it's kind of funny that you say that because I feel like over these past couple years, like when the pandemic happened, I was very shy, I was very timid, but I think like I've definitely grown into the woman I am now, which I'm a very talkative person. I know how to network, but I've learned that from my mom. And my mom, she is also somebody that everyone wants to know. So I've seen her network on a professional level. She has a lot of friends as well. And I feel like I've kind of fed off of that energy. To where like I can talk to anybody and I know my mom can talk to anybody. And so just watching her growing up and observing her and how she is so supportive of her friends and her family. And it's kind of like with my friends, I'm actually helping her campaign for Miss NCCU right now. And last night I didn't get home till 4 a.m. And my friend was like, she was like, at 2, she was like, you can leave. I said, no, girl, we gonna finish this out. Okay, because I'm gonna support you through no matter what. And I think I've seen my mom support all of her friends in the same aspect. There's a lot of things that I admire about my mom, but I think that's like the biggest one is it's very interesting because it's playing out currently right now with again supporting my friends and being there for my friends, but also I'm in spaces where I have to network with people, I have to talk to people. And I always just say like I've seen my mom in every single setting and I've observed and I've sat back and watched how she's handled situations, and I'm also able to handle situations like that. So yeah.
Aw.
I'm gonna add to that. Like my friends, she's like
Oh yeah, they're my
taking my
friends now.
friends. Like one of my close friends is up in Durham Raleigh area right now, and she calls Condi, and they just have this, they have these long, elaborate conversations, and like she's just taking over my friends. It's beautiful though. It
Yeah, I
absolutely
definitely do
Aw.
take over her friends, and I'll be over at their house, and my mom would be like, "When you go over there? You had dinner over there?" I'm like, "Yeah."
I love
So,
it. I love it. I love it. Oh my goodness. I don't know. Now you want to go? You want me to head? You want me to start it out?
Yeah, it's
Leaving you
okay. I
last
could
all the
I can
time.
go. Um I mean,
Yeah.
what do I admire? I have I have a lot of admirations, I think, from my mom. And they change over the years. Um I think that right now what I'm admiring the most would be her reinvesting in herself, or even like investing in herself for the first time. That wasn't a thing that I really saw. I always saw her doing like a gazillion things all the time, like multiple jobs, while of course still being like a wife and a mom and a sister and a daughter, in her own right. But I think that now in her life, she really is just putting herself first. And it's a really beautiful thing. I think that she's like believing in herself more, trusting in herself more. And so I would say that that's what I'm most proud of right now.
Thank you, Pumpkin. Thank you. So, with my baby, and as far as admiring all the aspect of who she, all that she is. Oh my goodness. So what I admire most about Anai is again her independence and Boob, your connection again to ancestry and your importance to that. When we went to visit colleges, and I don't even remember how many she was accepted to. How many was it, baby? It was a lot. Um, and we stepped foot on Howard's campus, and her face, and I mean I feel like she meant it from the core of her soul. And she was walking on campus, and we visited Clemson. We was visiting everywhere, and she said, "I really feel the ancestors are here, and this is where I need to be." And she's always had that energy. I think she had her first protest in the 10th grade, first business trying to do stuff in like the 10th grade. So her independence, always knowing what she wants out of this life, um, her resilience, her ability to bounce and to bounce back um, from whatever it is. I'm in awe. I'm really honored to be your mom, Anaya. I am. Uh, and her power, um, when she would do things without me even knowing, and I'll get someone sending me something like a news article, or I'll get somebody showing me a news clip, and she's just doing what she do as an activist. And I'm so happy she's no longer on the street doing it and in law school doing it, because she almost killed me when she was out there doing it.
For the moment though. It's literally because I have to go before the ethics board. So once I do that and I have my JD, then I can't promise anything. But right now I just can't afford to have a bullhorn at hand. I have to be on like under the radar for the next couple of years.
I cannot with you. I cannot. But yeah, and then her authenticity. Anaya is going to be Anaya wherever she is, and it doesn't matter. And I honor that. Um, Regardless of whom she's in front of, she's going to be Anaya, and she lets who she is speak for her. So yeah, that's what I admire about my baby. Yes. All right, y'all. So when did you realize your daughter or mother was becoming her own person? Becoming her own person. When did you realize that?
Can I go?
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's like when you officially like separated from my father, from dad. Um
Mm,
and I think when we moved into your new house, and because I feel like, for me as a daughter, like I said, I'm always gonna root for my mom. So I was, waiting on her to get to that point for years, but there's only so much. Of course, I can voice my opinions, but there were different reasons, of course, of why you moved the way that you moved. Of course, you have another child to think about and to consider too. But I'm always, trying to think of what's best for you solely. And so I think when I saw
mm,
that, and I just saw that you were, I'm just like, yeah, like reclaiming your power, reclaiming your independence. And I started really seeing you as an individual. Like, and it's unfortunate because I think that as you grow up, I see you as a mom. I see you as all these titles, but I didn't really see you as Shantae. I don't think that that was like a thing. And so
mm,
I think that at that point it was like, okay, she's Shantae for real. Like she's like that girl. Like she's doing her thing, and she's really starting to stand up, within herself. So that was a proud moment for me. I wish that I was there I really wish I was there. I was in school, but it would have been a proud moment for me. God knew I shouldn't have been there because I probably would have amped it up. I would have antagonized for sure. But I was really proud of you in that moment. And I think that was when I was like, okay, she's really, she's becoming more of an independent, woman outside of all the titles that she holds. She's becoming Shantae. So,
Oh, well, thank you for that, Pumpkin.
mhm.
Yeah, it was the a very probably one of the most difficult things that I ever had to do. Um, and I think for mothers, we don't realize, and maybe we do, but I think oftentimes we don't realize just how much our children see in us, and we don't realize how much they take from that until they use your life as an example. Like things that some things Anaya go through. She's like, I know that I can do this because you did it. I know that I could overcome because you did it. And I'm proud to be able to say that, regardless of what it was. It's like, man, I'm like, all right, that's right, you can. And you will, right? But yeah, so I guess I'll go. I think when I realized that Anaya was becoming her own person and her own woman is when I could not protect her from pain, life situations happening. When children are younger, you can talk to them and they listen and go get something to eat and they feel better, right, after a couple of days. But when life happens, and no matter what you say, you know that they're still going to have to deal with this pain themselves. Um, and this is going to be a part of their growth. Uh, that's when I realized, man, she, she's becoming her own person. She is having to learn how to navigate life. And I am always going to be her mom, but there's but so much I could do to protect her. Um, that's when I think that's when I realized, wow, when, breakups happen and you're like, great, whatever. But when that one happens and it's like, whew, it's not, you just got to go through it. I'm like, all right, all right. I know that she's going to be okay. I wish I could do more. Um, but she's going to have to navigate this herself. So I think that's when I realized that she was becoming her own person, um, among other things. But yes, yeah. Anyone else?
Okay, I'll jump in. Um, there have been several times in which I began to see glimpses of who Tati is within her own personal self, how she's grown and how she's developed. I would say the first time was when she was like 2 or 3 years old, and she was very determined and no matter what I would say at different times, she was going to do what she wanted to do, even if that meant that she got kicked out of daycare. But that also meant, she was really, really being who she was. And then there was a period of time, we've alluded to these preteen years, which it was very challenging. And I saw other parts of her becoming more and more who she was. And it wasn't until I, the semi-controlling mom, who was trying to make her and mold her into, I don't know, some vision, some image that I maybe had in my thoughts in my head, that I stepped back, I really began to see all of who she was becoming. But then we fast forward, and I would probably say about a year ago, when she broke up with said person, and she made a choice to choose herself over everything else. Even, in the midst of all the, all the chatter, all the everything, but she kept choosing herself over and over and over and over again, even when it was difficult. That's when the real light bulb, went off and said, yes, she is really becoming the young woman that she needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a that was a relationship. Oh my. Um, yeah, it was and Miss Shantae, when you said the breakups and everything, that's what I literally thought too. I was like, oh yeah, because there are some breakups where it's like it's hard and you just gotta you gotta know that you're gonna get through it. But when you look back in the end, you're gonna thank yourself for making the right decision. So um, and I think me and my mom kind of became closer because I got to a point where I was like calling her and telling her like what was going on, and like she gave me real advice. So but I think for me, like, I do agree. I think there have been multiple times, but I really think like when I started to live by myself and experience life for myself and experience how hard life is, um as a woman, but as a Black woman, and I started to think about what my mom went through when my dad passed, and how brave and how supportive she's been of me. I think that's when I really realized, like, my mom is that girl, like, she has her own business, she has her own things, like, she's that girl. And people literally come up to me and tell me like, your mom is that girl. And I'd be like, yeah, my mom is that girl. So I think that's when I started to realize that, like, when I realized life is not easy, but my mom continues to wake up every day and just be the best person that she can be and be there for her friends and her family and me, and no matter what happens, that remains consistent. So um yeah, I think that's my answer. And I had to think about it because I'm like, there's been a couple times, but becoming an adult, especially as a young adult, becoming an adult and realizing like life is hard, especially now. Like, life is hard, but my mom, she again has inspired me so much, and seeing all the great things that she's doing. She's that girl for sure.
I love it. Yes, Angela, Becca, y'all want to chime in on this one?
You want to go first?
Go ahead.
Okay. When did I realize Angela was becoming her own woman? Yes.
Mm-hmm. Becoming our own person. Yes.
Her own person. Ironically, it was the year I was going off to college. So my birthday's in April, but the school semester starts fall of 2018. So I was set to graduate high school 2019. So within that year, we're prepping as far as getting me to college, where am I going, all of the things. But for that, I think that's when it kind of clicked in her mind, like, I don't have something like innate to take care of anymore. Like, she'll be out the house. Yes, she's taking care of me, but I'm no longer in the same space. And so for that, I think that gave her a lot of room to do what she wanted as far as herself. She had more time to herself to kind of focus on herself without me being around. Like I said, we definitely still kept in contact, more so the fact that, we are still within the same state. Is like, when are you coming home? Or when are you coming to Greensboro? And it's like, girl, like, we're right down the street. Like, what do you need me to be back and forth for? Like, on both of our ends. But that's how we knew, like, we cultivated a relationship where, even though we don't necessarily live together or need each other due to proximity, like, we still remain connected, and we were allowed to see different facets of each other's personality because we were in two different spaces, two different places, not only physically, but as people. And so once I was gone, we're texting, but like, I'm telling her about school, but like, we're sending memes and we're sending gifts, and Instagram and TikTok and all of the things. And like, we've never done that in the 9 years of, you know, all of the things. And so it was like, wow, like, yes, I'm a person, but like Angela is a person too. And even though she's not my biological mom, she's been in that mother role where she has been responsible for me. But that's when I started to see more of her as a person. That's when I was like, wow, like Angela really a rock star. Like, that's what the family calls her, friends call her, but like in real life, like Angela is a rock star. Like, Angela's a fun girl. She loves to talk. Like, we share tea often. Like, she has become one of my little friends. But even then, like Anaya said, you know, the reverence is still there. Like, I still respect her, but at the end of the day, like, I know I can call Angela good, bad, mad, sad, like ready to go to war, and she's gonna be there regardless. And I feel like that's her as a person, not just her being my stepmom.
Mm. Yes, yes, Angela, you're gonna start crying.
Please.
You're just like,
I can't. She's not gonna let. She's not gonna let me because she's gonna be like,
We almost
we're
we're
we
doing
doing
good.
good.
almost there. We're
We're
going to do
doing
one more
good.
question.
I'm
We're
not
doing
gonna look at
great.
you.
Well, go
I'm gonna
ahead,
look at. I'm gonna look
Angela.
at Shantae. I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna look your way.
Don't
Um.
look at me.
So I mean, everything that she said, I think because in my head when Rebecca came into my life, I had this checklist of things that I had to get her through, right? Not really, um, like thinking about all the maybe the tender moments, but more of I got to get this right. I got to make sure, she's come. She didn't come to me because she chose to come. She was, she was, the choice was made for her. So I got to get this right. I got to get this right. So in my getting it right, I think I spent a lot of time making sure all the boxes were checked, all the things happened. And she brings up a good point. It really wasn't until she was getting ready to leave, and I remember the conversation because she was like, "When I get on, and I'm gonna be on the first thing smoking, you all ain't gonna see me." And I was like, "Well, good, because let me just tell you, here, let me help you pack. Let me do, all the things. Remember, because I was like, yeah, come on, let's get going." But then when she left, it was devastating because for a while I just was like, my husband disappeared. He was like, she's not going to tell me what to do. So who can she tell what to do, right? And so I had to really um, figure out who am I now if I'm not taking care of Rebecca.
Mm.
And what I realized, because that was during COVID too. But as I realized that she grew through the years, and then came back from school, that I don't have to take care of her. She can do it herself. And that, I think,
Mhm.
as a mom or stepmom, is a switch, because you may not be ready to let that go. And even now, I struggle, like, well, where are you going? And then I have to stop myself, like, I can't ask her where she's going, because some stuff, some tea she shares, I really didn't want to know that, but she didn't care. She just tell me anyway. And then, the goodness of that is that she trusts me enough to tell me, right?
Mhm.
Even though I'm like, okay.
Mhm.
And I think when I knew that she was her own person, again, as she has come out into the world that is not friendly to Black women, that is the employment statistics are horrendous. She just said, you know what, I'm doing this on my own. I'm gonna get out here. I'm gonna start my own business that is gonna represent me. In my head, I was like, oh God, let me try to figure something out for her. And she was like, no, I don't need you to figure it out for me. I'm gonna try it. And I will tell you, I still wrestle. When she tells me she signed a contract. This happened like a month ago, and I had an attitude about it because I'm like, you didn't ask me because I'm a lawyer. Why didn't you ask me? Because she had already done it, right?
Mhm.
So this becoming um, is a growth process, and recognizing and then being able to respect that even if she runs into the wall, then I'm gonna help her figure out how to get around the next one. But she's
Mm.
gotta she's
Mm.
gotta want that though. Now I
Yeah.
can't impose my will on it.
Yes. This is good stuff, y'all. This is good stuff. And when is it that they just feel like they can do what they want to do? without letting us know. Like, when did
All
that
the
switch
time.
happen? It's
Right.
like, it's like I got Anaya her first car, and then all of a
All the
sudden she's
time.
sending me a picture of her getting her own car, talking about I did a thing on Instagram. Didn't even tell me. I'm like, well, what about
Mhm.
the insurance? She
And
figured it
that's
out.
her.
And
But
then
see, I
and
live for
don't say
that.
nothing. And
I was
then
about to
we
say,
worry
me and
and
her are
I
the same
remind.
in that way. Yeah, me and her
Yes.
in that way. And there's a couple reasons to that. I want you guys to, like, at least for me, you should take that as like a badge of like of honor in a sense, because you've instilled in us enough confidence in our decisions to where we don't need to ask you anymore. But we also, on the same token, know that if we ask you, you'll give us too many questions. And sometimes we just need to do it. So it's like, for me, for instance, I know like you're a worrier mom to a certain degree. And so I'm not. So I'm very much like, I already, if my spirit is like telling me, okay, this is like what you need to do, or, if my heart is telling me I need to do something, I can't let you know that, because sometimes you will like talk quote unquote sense into me. And that's really not what I need in that moment. I'm sorry. That's not what I need, respectfully. And I just need to figure it out on my own, because it's a journey that I'm supposed to go through and I can feel it. And it's like, whether or not it works out in my favor, it's either a blessing or a lesson. But you've given us, the daughters, like enough confidence to be like, okay, we don't need you guys as like a soundboard for specific things. Other things, of course, like there's certain things I'm like, let me call my mom first. But, as we're getting older, it's like, I think I know how to handle this without her being involved. She'll find out,
Mhm.
but
Right.
not initially. And it's
And
okay.
that's, yeah, I can definitely relate in that sense because I know what you said, like Angela's very similar in the sense of like on the surface, she's not a worrier, but like internally, we both have like that same anxiety of like all the things that could go wrong. But one thing Angela did teach me, like coming up as we got more acquainted, she was around more. She used to tell me all the time, like, you need to work on your optimism. Like, you're so like head in the clouds as far as like just all of the negative, like these are dark clouds, like get into the sunlight, like literally, figuratively and literally, because it was just a matter of like, yes, life is going to be hard, but she taught me all of the things and how to go about them, but also, like we all said, instill that confidence. So when I do the things, like, and I was saying, I don't have to fact check or I don't have to get a second opinion, because not only did she instill like that confidence in me, but she also taught me like about the gift of discernment. Like when you do have these feelings, if something doesn't feel right, it probably isn't right. If something seems backwards, it is backwards. But for that, they always love to say, I'm not always going to be here. It's like, I don't even want to think like that, but okay, I'm not always going to be here. So it's like, for that, while they're here, I'm blessed enough to have her if I do need her, but I also have to take into account, like, God forbid, one day she is not here and I cannot get her to fact check, like, let me be able to handle my business. And that's one thing she always, told me coming up. And so now to be able to emulate that, like, it's an honor.
I love this. I love this. Y'all know y'all be really be driving us crazy with that though. It's like when we find out later, we like,
But it's like, who do we learn it from? Because
I
again, she's also, very,
she just
you can't
taught me
announce it until
and
it's
boom.
done. Like, you can't say anything until you do it, because if you say something before you do it, then all the things could happen and then you can't do it no more. So it's like, okay, let me like make sure all of my ducks are in a row. Let me make sure all the facts are checked twice. And for that, once it's done, like we celebrate, we keep, we do all the things. And that's what makes the moment like that much more of a moment, because it's like you did all the things, like wouldn't have done anything different. And thankfully, we're all here to like enjoy it together.
Lord, y'all, this is great. I'm trying to figure out, I'm gonna deviate. Y'all know I like to deviate just a little bit, right?
Yes,
Um,
we do.
I know, but I love y'all.
A
But
little bit.
I feel like, you know, I'm feeling a little, I'm feeling a little sentimental in my
Hmm.
spirit. And I would love for us to close out um, today's podcast with us pouring into our daughters and our daughters pouring into us, and just giving them words. And then I would even love, for our daughters to pour into each other. I think when we look at and we understand She Speaks, and it's a very multi-generational podcast, and we want to be able to reach all generations. And this is the first time we've had 20 somethings, or any guests. Y'all are our first guests. Look at that. But any guests on the podcast, and I think that I can speak for Angela and Ravella when I say this. We know the importance of community, and we know the importance of having to hold up our sisters, and pour into our sisters, because we be pouring into each other. Y'all don't even know. We be in the it be going down in the studio. Like, we be pouring into each other. So I say that to say I would love us to close out just pouring into each other. And if there's anything, Anaya, Tandy, Becca, anything that you guys want to share with each other, um, feel free to do so. So, who would like to get started?
I can start.
Hmm.
Um, I think I may be the youngest daughter, but I think it's so like I'm a girl's girl. I love girls. And I love the idea of this podcast. When I saw this podcast on, I don't even think my mom told me about this podcast, actually. I think I saw my face on LinkedIn on She Speaks when we was in Martha's Vineyard, and I was like, "Oh, you're doing a podcast? That's tea. Like, that's cool." And then I like would repost it on LinkedIn, and my friends would see it, and they'd be like, "Oh my gosh, I saw your mom's podcast. Like, that's so cool." Um, but I I I think it's really, really inspiring to see like Black women get together, um, and have the hard conversations, and just have community. And Anaya, you're in law school. I think your mom said yes. So congratulations to that. That's super, super amazing and inspiring to see. And Becca, you have your own business. So we love an entrepreneur. So I love that for you guys. Keep going, keep your head up. Again, I'm a girl's girl. I love to see Black women thrive, and yeah, this is great. I feel like I learned a lot. And I've heard some things from my mom that some nice things that we'll have to. I need her to tell me again, but. But yeah, so I
Mhm.
love that, and I think this is great, and I'm so happy that I had the opportunity to be on this podcast with you guys. So yeah.
Oh, thank you, Tandy.
I can
Anyone
go
want to
next.
pick up? Hmm.
So I definitely appreciate the opportunity to be on the podcast for sure. Anything my mom asks me, I'm gonna do. So that's always a thing. That's always been a thing. But I really enjoyed it, the conversation. And I do, like talking to y'all's daughters. Y'all raise phenomenal women. I can already tell just from the few moments that we've been on the podcast. And I would say, I guess, like when it comes to pouring into one another, I can tell that our mothers were who they needed to be for their generation. And so it really is up to us to determine who we're supposed to be for our generation. And so, let's just make sure that we give each other and ourselves grace in finding that. I feel like our generation is really rebellious because we have to be, because the times call for it. And in a, of course, intellectual educated way. We're not just like hooting and hollering, but we understand why we're doing like advocacy, and that looks very different, and I've learned that too. So it's just like finding our place as Black women in today's time, and just growing in strength and in power and in wisdom, whether it's like on the front lines or behind the scenes or just being support. Like, I feel like each of us play a role just depending on our characters. Like, all of us might have different characteristics, but we all are pivotal, in being change makers in our generation. So I would just say, just step in that confidently in the spaces that you guys are in, and wear that proudly wherever you guys go. And if there's not space for you in these spaces, then make it. That I don't think that's ever been an issue for Black women, or we'll just create our own space and then people are just jealous and want to come into our space at that point. It always happens. But just continue to believe in yourself, continue to be, lighthouses for, lost waters. We've always been that too. But I also think that we are a generation where we don't want to we understand that we have the ability and capability to save the world, but we understand too, our if we don't want to, we don't have to. And I think that that's really a thing. So that's something that I'm learning too. So like I said, just giving each other and ourselves grace and space, knowing our personal capacities is really important, and wherever we are, and just, staying true to who you are and where you fit in our generation, and you'll go a long way.
Thank you, Anaya. Look at that.
I love that. Thank y'all for that. I'll close out for the daughters. Pouring into everybody on this call right now. Angela first. Girl, already know how I get about you. Like Khaleesi, queen, everything. Overly proud of you just for all the things you're doing externally and internally. You are breaking a plethora of barriers. You are defeating odds. You are opening doors. And you too are now paving your own path, the path that you were always like meant to curate for yourself. And now that you have the space, the platform, the opportunity to do so, you have literally taken it by the reins and just made it yours. So congratulations for this, the podcast. I know we talked about this moment, we manifested it years ago. So to be here doing all the things, it's like, it's only going to get bigger and better from here. And that's on Team Woods. As far as Miss Ravella, Miss Shantae, the whole team, to you as well, congratulations. This isn't something easy, whether it be between the actual shooting, the production, just the showing up, being somebody that knows as far as the media is and all of the things. It's not easy to come on and be your authentic self, not knowing how you're going to be perceived as far as the masses, but taking this leap of faith and betting on yourself. I congratulate you all just for, again, the barriers you're breaking doing this podcast and opening up not only for others to be inspired, but to prove something to yourselves. Essentially, I know everybody has their reasons as far as, creating and doing the things, but you weren't just talking about it, like you're doing the things, and we're here in real time now talking about it. So congratulations to you all in all of the ways, personally and professionally. Anaya and Tandi, bosses. We're bosses because we come from bosses. And so for that, like Tandi was saying, Anaya, congratulations on law school. You're literally changing the world as we speak. Tandi, even though you are an equal, I still commend you, Queen, because I know you're doing all the things for NCCU. Aggie Pride, but yes, we're all doing the things as Black women, HBCU queens at that, creating things, creating spaces, because we literally did not have them. And again, it's one thing to talk about it, but the fact that we're all here talking about the doing that we have done, that's a privilege, an honor, and a blessing all in itself. And just to be able to share these personal and professional moments amongst all you powerful women, it's truly like an honor, and I'm proud of all of you.
Oh, good Lord. Look at that. See, I told y'all transitioning the question. I want to give space, Tandi and I, if you want to, say anything to the mothers before Angela, Ravella, and I close this out and pour into you guys. Is there anything that you would like to pour into your mom, Tandi?
Yeah. So, to my mother, that girl, always be that girl. I love you so, so much. You are my rock. And, again, I wouldn't be the person that I am today without you. And you are so inspiring to me every single day I wake up, and I
want to be better because of you, because I've seen the barriers that you've broken down and the things that you've done, um, especially after my dad passing and such so suddenly, like the things that you've been able to accomplish and just the woman that you have become, and you've shown up for me in every single way possible. And I can never like repay you back for how much you've supported me and been there for me. And sometimes I just think about it and I'm like, I don't know how I would ever repay my mom. But you know, I love you so so much. And yeah, I'm gonna stop right there because I feel like I'm already been emotional today, so I'm just gonna start right there, and, and I'm gonna pass it on to the next person. So yeah.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Anaya, anything before we transition?
Um, of course. Yeah, I mean, we talk every day. Like, you know everything about my life. It's actually crazy. But yeah, I love you so much. That's like, that's a given. I'm always proud of you. I always tell you that you need to like really settle down. You need to take some time. You always like add things onto yourself. And I just get confused because I'm like, I don't know. What are you trying to do? Like, are you trying to retire? Or are you trying to like have your sixth career? Like it's just really confusing. But regardless of what you do, I'm going to support you, and I'm just really proud of you. And I can just tell that you have so much more to offer to the world. And you spent the first half of your life, like really just pouring into your kids. And so it's really time for you to pour into yourself. And so it's long overdue. So I'm just really happy that you're doing that. You're allowing people to pour into you. That's a big thing too. And just continue, doing what you're doing. And if you ever need me, I'm always here. It's hard raising your parents when they get older. It's like it kind of flips a little bit, and it's like, girl, like calm down. Like, where are you going? You're not telling me? That's crazy. Now I need your location. But yeah, I'm always gonna be here. I'm always gonna be proud of you. And however you need me in whatever capacity, if I'm physically, mentally able, then you got me. So that's always.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Pumpkin. All right, ladies. Who is going to start us out with closing out? Rebella.
I'll start because I'm over here dying because there is so much love, but so much similarity in all of these beautiful young ladies that are here today. And I love the determination. I love the representation that you all come with, all very unique and different, but yet so focused. I wish for all of you, that you continue to walk in the light and be light in the midst of what is so dark at moments in what we see. There's so much uncertainty, but you all walk with such strength as women, such strength as Black women. I am proud to be Tandi's mom. I'm proud to be associated with each of you because you represent us well. And that makes me happy. It confirms that the work that we are doing to pass things on to the next generation has proven to be successful. So to Tandi, my bestie, sometimes my broke bestie, but my bestie, I love you to life. I want and wish and desire the very best that God has for you. And I know that you will stay focused and determined and walk in the purpose that God has put before you. And you will do well. And you will break barriers and you will continue to do great things. So continue to be great, and know that you're loved through the process.
Love it. Miss Angela.
I never want to follow Ravella. You know how we do. You never want to follow Ravella. Ravella, exhort her. Um, I think just a couple of things. One, I have immense gratitude for each of you, um, because you never know how this is going to go, right? Are we going to do therapy? Are we going to how deep are we going? What's going to happen? But I have a immense gratitude for all of you, and so in awe of how certain you all are, certain about your path, certain about what you want out from your life, certain about um, how you're going to step forward no matter what. And so I feel grateful. I feel grateful. This has been a gift. This has been a true gift to be able to listen, and hear and learn more about my friends, as moms. It's been a gift and an honor to listen to, Rebecca, because oftentimes I'm brushing off stuff she's saying because I'm like, but I listened today, and she knows I love her. I give her a hard time, and she also knows that I will go to the mat for her no matter what. And I'm just so proud that, how she's come so far and will have so much. She has so much to give and so much to do in the world, and I just want to keep lifting her up to make sure that happens. So that's what I'd say. Tandi, Anaya, I'm gonna be looking for you on some TV show. Not the news. I can see it. I visualize it when you're talking into the mic about the injustices of the world and how this is gonna happen, and I can see it. You know, Tandi, I just see you just growing and supporting people and bringing out their best selves, however that manifests for you, because it's natural. So I'm in awe of all of you, and I appreciate you all taking the time this evening to spend that with us, and it's a gift.
Mm,
Thank you.
mm. Yes. Yeah, this has been a wonderful time. Um, my heart is full to all of the babies. Now y'all are my babies too. I got three daughters. Y'all my babies too. But I tell you this, um, I know your moms, and with that, I know the heart of who you are because I know the heart of your mom. I'm proud of y'all. Uh, I could only imagine what dent you're going to make in this world. And I can't wait to sit back with my popcorn and watch. I can hear it in your voice. I can see it in your communication, not just not verbal, but nonverbal. Y'all mean business in this world. Keep going and keep pushing. Angela and Ravella, y'all, we did that. And I say that because parenting is not easy. And we know that parenting is not easy. And I honor the both of you and lift you both up. We all have past and we all have histories. And with that, and I really honor Anaya with just really being transparent about lived experiences. Um, for our listeners, I think, and I hope that there's something that was said in today's podcast that would encourage you, and that will show you that regardless of what it looks like, um, what you're putting in will definitely come out. To my baby girl, you already know what time it is. Like you said, we talk every day, 3, 4 times a day. I mean, I do know everything about you, but I honor the relationship that we have. Um, I am proud of you as, the woman that you have become and the woman that you are becoming. I am so proud of your, I can't say this enough, your authenticity, because that's what's going to take you far. You're not trying to be nobody but an I. You me. You me. I mean, when I see you and I hear you, I'll be like, that's my child for sure. But you are authentically you. Remain who you are. When you knock down the doors that you are knocking down, and you have already knocked down so many, but when you continue to knock down these doors and defeat the odds, baby girl, stand up like you know you ought to. Stand up your authentic self and know that whatever it is that you do, when you do it and honor Christ, He will honor you. And you already know I'm right there. I don't care if we got to ride, travel, car, plane. I've done it all, didn't I? I did everything but walk.
You're always gonna
Yeah,
find me, even if I don't want to be found. You're gonna find me. But
that's
that was
it.
good.
That's
I needed you at the end of the day. Wherever I was, I did need you. So I appreciate you for finding me.
yeah. I'm always going to find you. I'm always going to find you. So that is it. She Speaks family. Our mother daughter special episode for Mother's Day. It has been wonderful. Y'all continue to follow us. Make sure you share, you like, and subscribe. Until next time, She Speaks. We did it. We out, y'all. We out.